Hi, this is John from Primes, saying hello to Antichrist magazine. So yeah, Primes is a solo project with yours truly. And I started last year and I worked on, I think it was in total 14 songs. But this year I reviewed the songs and I thought that, well, the first song is pretty shit, and then the last song I made, the 14th one, was pretty damn good, but there was no like red thread throughout it, so I scrapped it all and made 4 songs, or 3 originally, which I'll come back to actually. But yeah, for that project I chose the name Primes, because prime numbers have always fascinated me for some odd reason. Well, it's not really odd when you think about it, because without prime numbers we wouldn't have stuff like secure online banking, stuff like that, encryption, or reliable encryption. So prime numbers are pretty damn important, even though most people take them for granted. So yeah. So the only thing I've released so far is the Pendulum EP, which released late June 2020. It's a 4-song EP which I composed, produced, recorded, mixed, mastered, everything, because I'm a cheapskate, and well, if I don't have to pay money for something, then I won't. So come hell or high water, I'd rather produce something and make it sound, well, sort of shitty but acceptable, than to pay thousands of, well, in Norwegian it would be kroners or Norwegian bungalows or whatever, to make it sound slightly better. So yeah, there you have it. That's the only production, or only album I've produced so far. Or it's not even an album, it's an EP. Fuck it. I haven't even had that much to drink. Fuck. So, lyrics is one of the most fun parts of creating an album, or like just creating music in general, I think. Because, especially in metal, you can write about anything. You can find something metal in, well, just about anything, I guess. And for example, the titular song Pendulum is sort of like a trying to explore a philosophical question, which is fate. Like, has your fate already been written for you? And if so, even though you think you have free will, and like I could just like jump around suddenly, and I think that's my own free will, but if that truly was written in stone already, that I would do that because I think I have free will, then you really don't have free will anyhow. So it's just about some dude trying to come to grips with it, and really if he just goes berserk and does awful things, is fate really just the ultimate excuse for behaving badly? Or yeah, so it just explores what ifs, basically every song on the EP. Take one more example. Yeah, let's see, Mother Midas. It's about a dude who tried to gain immortality, and it did. And what he didn't think about was, if he truly was immortal, then he could never kill himself either. Like, even though he tried to kill himself by shooting himself or whatever, the gun would jam, he would jump off a cliff and something miraculous would happen which saved him. He just never dies. And that would be a fate more horrible than death, as Cryptopsy would say. So yeah, it just explores fun questions like that. So the cover art, which is also made by me, because, well, I just said fuck it. I'm not gonna spend any money on this. So I just did everything myself, like I prefaced. Fuck. So, like I prefaced in one of the previous questions, I make everything myself, and that's including the cover art. Which, funny story. The cover art is 3 faces lost in a sort of like vortex or void or whatever you want to call it. They represent the 3 songs that were originally going to be on the EP, and by the time I had finished those 3 songs, lyrics and all, I just thought I can do better than this. I'm conflicted on that, so I made the fourth song. Actually, the EP is now in the reverse order that it should have been. So I wrote Knowledge Unbounded first, and then Transmogrified, and then Modern Midas, and then Pendulum, which is kind of funny to me, I guess. But yeah, 3 faces because they represent the feelings of the 3 first songs, that is Knowledge Unbounded, Transmogrified and Modern Midas, which is the first one. It's more like information overload, which the song is about, and the second one is anger, and then there's Modern Midas, which is despair or anguish. So yeah, that's the story behind the cover art. Fuck yeah, right up the poop chute. Well, for me it's like, it depends a whole lot, because a lot of record labels these days they act like glorified distributors, sort of, or not even that. They're just call it like, they're drop shipping CDs, and they keep a few for themselves to sell on their like own web store, which, like, to be fair, even though physical format is still going to some degree, most people now, they don't listen to an album. They put on a playlist on the way to work, while they're working out, or just going for a walk or whatever. So fucking helicopter. Where was I? Yeah, like, if you get a good deal where you don't pay, like, because even though I barely have any followers, I barely have any fans of my music because, well, I'm unknown. I guess I could have more fans if my music got like more promotions, shit like that, but I don't really care about that. I want to make music because I like making music. And the thing is, once you put something out on the internet, the vultures come immediately. Like, I've been given offers for like 4 or 5 label deals, and I got those in like the first week of the release. And it's like, yeah, we got this fantastic deal for you, dude. You just gotta pay us like 1,000 or 2,000 euros. We'll ship you 500 CDs, and we pertain the rights to your music for 2 years. It's fucking ridiculous. It's beyond. Don't fall for that shit, guys. Just an afterthought on this just came into my head, because most of them also, like, they'll give you digital distribution for free, but they take X amount of money or X amount of % of your income from those like streams you get and stuff, and just distribute it yourself on digital platforms. It's easy as all hell, no problem at all. You can do it basically instantly. So yeah, don't get raped by scam artists, I guess. Just do it yourself, unless you get a good deal, like on paper good deal. Just do it yourself. Well, it depends, because you gotta find musicians for that shit. And I live in a tiny town, or tiny city, technically, here in Norway. You can see it. This is basically the whole town, or at least 2/3. But yeah, there are good musicians here. I'm not saying that there's not good musicians here, but they're already occupied. They're already doing their own shit. And finding some person who has the time and has the will to play this sort of music and of course get good enough to do it live consistently and stuff, it's really fucking hard. Bass players are in short amount here, so if you're a really good bass player and you want to come to middle of bumfuck nowhere Norwegian oil town, hit me up. I have sort of closed myself off a bit because I don't know why actually. Like I listen to new stuff, but I really like to just sit down and chill with the old school stuff, if you know what I mean. I'll just mention a few bands that have really influenced me and their albums, which are, to me, I think it's just epic. Of course, it's like almost everything by Def. It's been a huge influence. Chuck was a fucking legend, and I really loved like Spawn of Possessions and Curso album. That's a big one for me. Of course, Archspire's Relentless Mutation is what a fucking bomb of an album. Other influences have been from like bands like Dark Throne. And I'll probably get some shit for saying this, but I think Dark Throne's best album is Soulside. Just mention one album, and that's the Igor album that came out recently. Can't really remember the name of it because I'm bad with names. But yeah, check that shit out. Okay, another quick side note here. Like, you can't really quantify music in my opinion. Like, there's no best album or like which album has impressed me the most. It's sort of a non-question because all of them impressed me, but in different ways, and it would be comparing apples to cocks, as in the Kukuliku one, not the between my legs one. Well, COVID-19 is a bitch, straight up. Fuck that shit, I hate it. Or as Bob Saget would say, don't fuck that shit, you'll get a disease. But yeah, it's a horrible situation. They cancelled Wormrot in Oslo, which really pissed me off, but because I really wanted to go see Wormrot. Fucking awesome grindcore band. It's just a all-around awful situation. Like, people are missing revenue, bands can't go on tour. It's just fucking horrible. But it's fun to see all the ways that people are coping with it, like whether it be donations or they do live stream, like even festivals, like live stream festivals or concerts, and like people are streaming their band practices and getting donations from that, which is really cool. I think we should do that even when we get the fucking vaccine and yeah, get rid of this fucking piece of shit virus. But yeah, the metal scene is resilient. Well, persevere, I'm sure of it, because yeah, metal scene has always been a like where I've met all the good people in my life, basically. And a virus can't stop that shit. Like, metal will always overcome stuff like this. Like, remember in the 80s when Twisted Sister had to go before Congress to explain their lyrics? That was some doped up shit. And the 90s with all the church burnings and stuff here in Norway, bad press all around, but the metal scene, well, just keeps on going. Choo choo, motherfucker. So, my plans for the future is to make music. Plain and simple. I'm gonna make a full-length album, and I'm gonna use a bit more time on it. Because like the EP was a bit rushed, in my opinion. Like the songs I made, from initially starting them to finishing with like the mixing and mastering, took me about a month and a half. And not even that when I think about it. So yeah, I'm gonna have a beer, compose some music, get it done, and make a better album, because that's my ultimate goal, like just growing and getting better, perfecting everything. But you can't perfect too much either. Like, perfect is the enemy of done. I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who watched and stuck around till the end. You're a legend. See ya.